everyone, welcome you to another episode of the Diary of a Startup Girl. Like we all know, this is a channel where we learn as entrepreneurs from other businesses and the little tips we could get to run our businesses to make our businesses better, and the strategies used by former successful and unsuccessful businesses that we could learn from to avoid their pitfall, and as well as to copy the successful templates that were used by former businesses or currently running businesses that are successful. So on today's episode, we will be talking about Konga, one of the Nigerian former e-commerce company that started as a savior to the e-commerce sector industry of Nigeria. They came into the market as the Amazon of Africa. But unfortunately, the company is no longer into existence today because of some major business mistakes that they made, because of some wrong strategies that they used, because of some wrong decisions that they took as businesses that made them to go into bankruptcy and finally into extinction. So come with me today as we dive into the dynamics of Konga as a business.
Once hailed a Nigerian's answer to Amazon, Konga emerged in 2012 with a grand vision to revolutionize online shopping in Africa's most populous country. With massive founding and talented team and a booming e-commerce potential, Konga quickly became a household name and a symbol of what tech in Africa could become. But just a few years later, the dream crumbled. Despite all the promise, Konga failed to sustain its dominance, eventually being sold in the fire sale deal that made one of the most disappointing decline in the African startup history. This video will dive deep into rise, poor decision making, mismanagement, and financial downfall of Konga as a case study in ambition without sustainability. In 2012, Sim Shagaya, a charismatic and visionary Nigerian entrepreneur, launched Konga with the goal of creating a Pan-African e-commerce empire. Backed initially by investment AB Kinevik and Naspers, two global investment powerhouses, Konga was poised for greatness. Initially, focusing on baby products and beauty products, Konga quickly expanded into a full-fledged online marketplace, offering electronics, fashion, groceries, and more. The brand became synonymous with quality, speed, and innovation, leveraging a growing Nigerian middle class and increasing internet access. Within 2 years, Konga has raised over $100 million in funding, a massive amount in the African tech scene. It built a vast logistic network, K-Express, to manage deliveries and invested in infrastructures few startups could afford. The e-commerce war between Konga and Jumia emerged. At the same time, Jumia, another heavily funded e-commerce platform backed by Rocket Internet, was expanding aggressively in Nigeria. What followed was a brutal e-commerce war between both companies, burning through cash in a bid to win the market. Rather than collaborate or find a niche, Konga chose to fight fire with fire. And by doing so, Konga went into poor decision making and made some terrible mistake in its decision. Firstly, they made unprofitable price war. To stay competitive, Konga slashed prices on popular products, often selling below cost. This attracted customers but bled money. Secondly, they overbuilt logistic infrastructures. Konga poured millions into warehouses and delivery systems to rival Amazon, despite Nigeria's poor transport network and low customer retention. And thirdly, massive operational costs. Unlike lean startups, Konga operated more like a corporate behemoth with overhead that far outstripped the revenue. Konga was growing but losing tens of millions of dollars in the process. And this made Konga to ignore the reality of the Nigerian market. While Konga had technology and capital, it misread the Nigerian consumer base and therefore made crucial errors such as underestimating cash on delivery risk, Nigerian trust in digital payments was weak. Over 70% of orders were placed on COD, but many customers refused or failed to pay on delivery, leading to huge return rates and lost inventory. Urban-centric focus, Konga focused mainly on Lagos, Abuja and Port Harcourt, ignoring Nigeria's vast informal and rural economy, which still accounted for majority of customer spending. Internet dependency in a low internet environment was another error made by Konga. While smartphone penetration was rising, data costs remained high and connectivity poor in many regions. Konga's click online experience couldn't convert customers who prefer physical marketplaces. On the other hand, there was another error and difficulties with the leadership and strategy shift in Konga as a business. In 2016, Sim Shagaya stepped down as CEO and was replaced by Shola Adekoya. The move was seen as an attempt to professionalize the company and pivot towards profitability. Konga then shifted from a retail model to a marketplace model, allowing third-party sellers to list their products, hoping to reduce inventory costs, but it was too late. Other missteps taken by Konga were that they failed to implement payment integration. Konga Pay, the company's proprietary payment system, was launched to reduce COD reliance, but it struggled to scale and integrate effectively with banks. Low sellers' confidence. Many sellers found the platform fee high and customer service issues discouraged vendors, pushing them to Jumia or offline alternatives. Lack of innovation after pivot. Konga's pivot to a marketplace was slow and uninspired, lacking the agility of competitors who had already mastered the model. Then comes the collapse. By 2017, investors has grown weary. Naspers and Kinevic, once bullish on Konga, refused to inject more capital. In 2018, after reportedly failing to find buyers abroad, Konga was sold to Xerox Group, a Nigerian hardware company, in a highly underwhelming acquisition. The price? Undisclosed but rumored to be less than $10 million, a staggering drop from its once 200 plus million-dollar valuation. Hundreds of employees were laid off. Offices were shut. Konga, the golden child of Nigerian tech, had fallen. Then what lessons do we have to learn from this fall? Konga's story is not just one of ambition. It is a tale of misalignment between vision and reality, of burning through investor cash without a sustainable path to profitability. And our key takeaway for this is that number one, funding doesn't equal success. Massive capital injection can mask poor business model, but not for too long. Two, know your market. Western style e-commerce model cannot be copied and pasted into African economies without local adaptation. Three, scale smart, not fast. Konga scaled its infrastructure faster than the demand could support, leading to an unsustainable burn rate. Then, fourthly, vision must be matched with execution. Konga's leadership shift, while necessary, lacked clear direction in later years. Under Quinos, Konga had many attempts at a reboot, focusing on tech-enabled retail stores, hybrid models, and logistics, but its days as dominant e-commerce forces are gone. Meanwhile, Jumia, despite its struggles, remains Africa's largest e-commerce platform, largely due to better adaptation, lighter operations, and global backing. Konga's rise and fall is a warning to all African startups. Know your terrain, move wisely, never let funding cloud your fundamentals. This was the story of Konga, a dream too big, too fast, and too far from the reality of its people.
Hi guys, I hope you have learned a lot so far from the documentary and the strategies and the diplomacies of Konga. One truth from this is that despite the fact that Konga has the talent, the money, the ambition, the expertise, but they failed to understand one thing, which is you cannot build a Silicon Valley business on a market that is not Silicon Valley ready. Meaning that you cannot build a huge business on a market that is not ready to sustain such businesses. So understanding your market well as an entrepreneur is very crucial to the success of your business. Thank you so much for spending the time with me on this channel today and on this episode. I look forward to seeing you again on our next episode where we'll be bringing another company that we will learn from as well. Don't forget to like, follow, and comment, and as well as subscribe to this channel. Your feedback is very important. Your comments are very important for the growth of this channel and also for the growth of our community as entrepreneurs and upcoming African startups. Thank you so much and see you next time on this channel. Bye.